Starting.
Yeah. Just trying to make sure that's.
Testing 1, 2. Hi. Papa, we are live. Hello. Join us. Papa and I here. We're getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner. Making all this food. So, first of all, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Okay? Many greetings. Many greetings. Let's talk while you're watching me. That way it's easier. What's going on? Happy Thanksgiving. We're here. We're about to get started with our turkey. Papa, hey, say hello, Papa.
Hello, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. Oh, what's going on? Rotate your phone. No. We want it like that, right? Hey, what's up? Pato, happy Thanksgiving. Rita, John, and Nipa, Chidi, what's up? Ravi, happy Thanksgiving. Martin is Toronto, so hey, your Thanksgiving was like a month ago, maybe 2. Mawan, happy Thanksgiving. Rowan, happy Thanksgiving. Many people, happy Thanksgiving. So yeah, today we figured we share with you how we do our Thanksgiving at home. So this year is just Papa and I, most of the family are out of town, So, but yeah, this is our American culture, the traditional way. So if you notice something slightly different from what you're used to, just know because he has maybe some African touch with it. But hey, Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. Papa, people are saying hello, Papa.
Hello. Let me get the gloves.
Yes. So we have some colored grains, okay? For I think Papa says they call this sukuma wiki.
Yeah.
Then we have some cilantros and green onions. We have bell peppers. Okay. We have Papa, these are jalapenos or these different?
Jalapeno.
Lord have mercy. These are hot. Be careful if you don't like eating hot stuff, okay? But this is happening. I made soup earlier that I'm gonna be snacking on as we do this. Papa marinated some fish, so it's not just about the turkey. These are gonna go into the oven to get this stuff ready. Oh yeah, by the way. Papa, how did you marinate that?
Tilapia. This is.
This tilapia.
Yeah. Go on. I will explain.
Wait. Yeah. We're just now starting on turkey, man. We got time. It's gonna get ready. Another turkey is getting ready. So don't worry about this turkey. This is just for, intensive purposes. Papa, now what do we call this?
So these are the spices that we're gonna use
For the turkey, right?
For the turkey, I have curry here, paprika. I have this is yellow mustard, which is a prerequisite before you put your spices. This is something that is different from most other people who do their turkeys.
Yeah.
And then you have the garlic here, the onion powder. They are all mixed up, and this is the mixture that is gonna go in there. It's already mixed up. So as you can see here, the totality of all those spices have been mixed up already.
Together.
So they are here, including the salt, the bouillon which we use, chicken version.
Yeah.
This is the bouillon we use, this one. So we're in business.
Papa, so how are you gonna mix that up to make it
Well, the first
sit on the turkey?
the first thing I'm gonna do is put the can you?
Oh yeah, we need to see that
So
turkey.
I'm gonna start with this, the yellow mustard. So the yellow mustard, basically, you have to generously put it. That was the neck. You put it on here. I'll show you.
Lord have mercy.
So now what we're gonna do is put it all over the turkey. As you can see, inside, outside, the legs, the arms, the wings rather. So yellow mustard everywhere. Turn it around on the side. Add some more for the back side.
Wow.
So the whole turkey has to be basically yellow before anything else.
But Papa, everybody cooks theirs differently, right?
Differently.
Not everybody's gonna use mustard and all of this the way
This
you're
is
using
just
it.
the way we do it. We are showing you how we do it here every year.
So as we do this, I just want to point this out to especially the veterans, those that are dealing with coping mechanisms or whatnot, okay? some of the things that work for me is like this. Like I get together with Papa and then he shows me how to cook or how he cooks differently. And then I also try to do it with my own touch, you know. So that's, it's, in a sense, it's a bit therapeutic, you know, because it gives you that break from otherwise the worrying and this and that is going on around your life or whatnot. So I use this a lot as a coping mechanism. Sometimes I do barbecue, you know, just marinate it differently and then barbecue, you know, for the people to eat and enjoy. So it works, you know. So my suggestion is for some of you out there that are going through whatever it is you're going through, so this can be a great coping mechanism as well, you know. Interacting with family and friends and going through, you know, cooking different dishes and enjoying the meals, and it brings about different conversations. And when you talk about, you know, when you have conversations, it gives you healing. In my experience. So, but yeah. So then, Papa, then what else? Is that the same way, Papa, you marinated the fish, or the fish did not have mustard in there?
The fish has no mustard.
So the fish
is just direct spices.
Okay.
A combination of 3-4 spices and the salt.
Okay.
And you just put it there. So now the turkey is wet with the mustard.
Right.
And you don't have to worry about adding anything in here. All you do now is get the spices on the turkey.
Okay.
Generously, and then just
nice.
smear it all over the turkey. Now you
okay.
see the turkey is gonna.
I wonder if they see that. You see that?
So the turkey is gonna look a little bit. Now the spice is gonna be all over.
Yeah. Yeah, Papa. Keep talking to them.
And so the purpose of using the mustard has got this strong taste. So what you're gonna do is open up the pores on the turkey, and then the turkey is gonna absorb the spices. So you're gonna eat a well-seasoned, a well-spiced turkey, as opposed to the traditional blend turkey. So this turkey is gonna come out pretty spicy in a way, and then it will go. The mustard is gonna push the spices all the way in, so that you can feel the taste from every angle of the turkey after it is ready and you cut it. So this is it. So you can see it is all turned now into beautifully colorful, very spicy looking turkey. You have to be very generous with this so that the skin is kind of tough. This is kind of like a mid-range, not a very old turkey. This is a young turkey, so it cooks a little bit faster than the older ones. Of course, if you kill a wild turkey, it's gonna take longer than this one because they tend to be a little bit tougher. This is the farm raised, so it's a little bit different. It's softer. It's young turkey. Well, that's what they call it, but this is kind of big. It's 21 pounds. So if it is young, it is really grown so big. So this is already ready for the oven. So what I'm gonna do is I have the cilantro with a bit of parsley gonna be chopped up together, and the green onions, a bit of jalapeno, and then the bell pepper, the green bell pepper, will be chopped up together, all mixed up together with onions and that sort of stuff, and then I'll mix them and put them inside here. So all they're gonna go inside the turkey, and then we will lift this turkey and put it in the oven. The oven is preheated at 450 degrees, and then it will be reduced to like 385 in about 2 hours. It will, after 2.5 hours, it will reduce to about 380 degrees or so, and then you can then let it cook, or you can even reduce it to 400. Then it will cook slowly for the next another hour and a half or so. Then it will be done. But so this is it about cooking the turkey and then preparing for the Thanksgiving. But one of the things that usually excites me about Thanksgiving is to ask people, what are you thankful for? In the United States, there's a historical factor involved in as far as this day is concerned. It has something to do with the original founders of this country. When they came, they met with the Native Americans, and the Native Americans did an offering of turkey and corn and all that stuff. So this actually became significant into the history of this country. And the fourth Thursday of November was then designated as a cultural day, a Thanksgiving Day for that day. Now, Fidelis, am I appearing or?
No, you're there. Yeah.
I'm there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, yes.
So that's it. So now my question to you is, what are you thankful for this family? We are thankful for the family, for our home, for relatives, for life. And of course, in most cases, we're thankful that God has given us this opportunity. So what are you thankful for? It is a day you take this opportunity to reflect on your own personal lives, your family. If you are a veteran, this is the day for you to look at how does a day like this impacts your life. How do you look at it? Because the day you're going to meet families, if you're going to sit with families, what can you benefit from a day like this? How do you translate the Thanksgiving Day to change your life, to impact your life in a positive way so that you can start doing things for yourself? Remember, everything you do is a service. It's a service. Whatever you do to yourself, to your community, to your friends, to your relatives, is a service. And in most cases, what is the service supposed to be? On this planet, when we talk about service, if you're a person who has a religious belief, it is really a service to God. If you're a teacher, you're a doctor, you're whatever service you're doing is a service to God, really. And if you believe what you're doing is a service to God, in most cases you won't be stressed out of even if it's the worst job. If you put it in that perspective that, you know what I'm doing is a service to God. It's a service to God, put me here to service other people, to help other people, and translate that to His own will. So those are some of the stuff that when I do something, I want to do it well. It could be like the worst opportunity for me to do something that I don't want to do. But if I do it, I want to do it well, because I put that perspective that what I'm doing is a service to God. So today, Thanksgiving, besides what are you thankful for, I think we should also look into the higher power that we are thankful for, to God Himself, and to the higher power. In other words, we're thankful that we're here. I'm thankful that I'm right here. My son has given this opportunity to talk to you guys. And now we're going to get into the cooking, and then we're going to show you later on
the aftermath.
the aftermath of what has come out. Or maybe another time, I don't know. But anyway, this is exactly what it is. We are just trying to demonstrate that today is actually a very, very valuable day for us to reflect on ourselves, on our lives, on our families, and also to reflect on how the year has been, how the year has treated us. Because now, if you look at it, this is the second last month of the year, but it almost like closes it. So we are very thankful for that. So,
Papa, don't Christmas trees start going like up tomorrow?
They're all over the place.
Usually
today also, tomorrow is the Black Friday, so it is also the beginning of when people start buying Christmas trees. It's basically Christmas has started
Christmas
tonight.
So
so it is almost like a perfect time. It opens up a gateway to all the different opportunities coming up for the new year and the rest of the stuff. So now we can start talking about New Year, Christmas, and all that stuff. But in the United States, today is our day. A day we celebrate with this turkey. I mean, let me tell you the truth. I technically would love to be in Uganda and cook this turkey in a pot, boil it and cook it, really fry it and cook it the way we eat chicken in the village. But the standard here is not the same. So you have to be creative enough to follow it, to understand how it is made. So you have temperature gauges on the turkey itself. Sometimes when this thing pops up, then you can tell that, the turkey is almost getting ready. So it has all been structured how to go about it in a different way. So This is the turkey. This is the food. We're cooking tilapia. This is side dish tilapia, all spiced up. It has paprika, curry, cumin, and cayenne. You know, the kamulal. The cayenne is in there.
So good.
And of course the salt. And then we're gonna make this vegetable. This is it's a skuma wiki. Very big in Kenya. The Kenyans call it skuma wiki, but it is actually collard greens. Now, in Uganda, collard greens is not a big deal because we have so many different types of vegetables. So this is always the last resort. But here, man, when we see it, it's a big deal because we're looking for greens. So, but to be creative enough, I put a little bit of baking soda to soften it a bit. Then you pour that water out. Then you stay on. And then I will cook it in onions and olive oil and then add some okra to it. And then okra and tomatoes. And then it will cook slowly. And you will have a fantastic side effect of vegetables. And then you can add it to next to your turkey, there's your potatoes and all that stuff. And of course the ingredients that are gonna go in part of this green onions in Uganda, people don't use a lot of this fantastic spice. Parsley combined and lots of onions. As you can see, I have 2 big bowls of onions. The whole one of this is going to go into the vegetables. Part of this is going to go into the turkey. So we're going to be well balanced with what we're going to eat. So what is going to go? Rice is cooking. I already made rice, almost ready. We're also going to have the
rice meaning.
So it's going to be rice. We're cooking rice.
Yeah, we're cooking rice. Okay.
Let me wash my hands quick.
I know somebody's wondering, okay, so what's Fidelis doing?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I gotta learn. Gotta take a minute to learn, but I'm also eating some soup that I made yesterday. So yummy. Gotta tell you how I made this soup. You know, this was Papa's doing, of course, recommendations. So we boiled a lot of bones. This was recommended to me by my doctor 3 years ago. Okay, soup. So you boil a lot of bones because what you want out of that is the bone marrow, whatnot. So I got a lot of bones. I boil it with a pressure cooker, put all these ingredients in there that Papa was showing you. And then I put in 2 pieces of oxtail in there and then just let it just boil for a few hours on slow cook. The soup is so good when you eat it. You know, it fills you up, but you get so much energy just out of eating that soup. And this is to my veteran friends that might be struggling. You know, you feel low energy, lack vitamin D, things like that, So eat some soup. That soup is going to help you a lot. That soup is going to help give you some good energy. You know what I mean? To keep on fighting, the challenges you're trying to fight. So it works, It works for me. Again, this was recommended by my doctor. So you can go buy this at Publix. Papa, where did we buy bones? I think it was at McDale's, right? Or was it at Walmart?
You can get it in Walmart.
So you can buy bones at Walmart. Buy some nice bones and
for any place where there's butcheries, they'll give you bones. For those of you who are not here,
the butchery.
because we're talking about here, but in other places, they're going to be the grocery stores are going to be so different in different states. Some of them, of course, multiple. Like Walmart is everywhere, even in South Africa and some other places. If you go to some of the butcheries, if you are in an African country, go to the butcheries, they will always give you bones. They will be happy to sell you the bones. Now remember, these kind of bones, do not think about the cow feet or all this other stuff. Those ones don't have value. They're talking about the actual bones.
Actual bones.
That has bone marrow in them. Now, that's what they recommend. Those bones tend to be very helpful, and when you boil them, you need to boil them for a long time without adding a lot of stuff. Maybe you can add onions, maybe some... this is good for bones, green onions. And you can also, if you have... in most places, like in Florida here, I
want to show the kind of bones we're talking about. See? This is a nice chunk of piece of bone.
Yeah.
So I boiled this, Papa, how long? Maybe 3 hours yesterday, 3-4 hours. This was boiling.
It's not on low.
Yeah, on low heat. So, but you see how that bone marrow from inside it all just looks, man, it comes out and it makes that soup so thick. When you eat it, you know, it's gonna help give you energy. It will help increase your blood, you know.
Anti-inflammatory and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can also, if you are in Florida, in other dry places, tropical climate, you can also chop up lemongrass, like the bottom part, just to get the leaves out. You chop up the lemongrass, the bottom part, get the soil part out, and then just cut the leaves away. Then pound it and put it at the base of the pot so that it cooks into that soup. Lemongrass actually is a fantastic spice. It also has a lot of values. In Asia, it is almost used in every cooking, especially when they're cooking certain types of fish, or actually sometimes even when they're cooking, like meat, pork, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The Vietnamese use a lot of lemongrass in their big soup, where they boil the bones for the soup, so that you can go. There's what they call pho. You go to the Vietnamese restaurant, you can get that beautiful soup mixed with the noodles and basil and all that stuff, and the meat of your choice. It's fantastic. All coming from these bones. So you can do that at home. You can go to big butchery, big grocery store, and buy bones and just cook it, especially for you guys with a lot of stress and a lot of stuff. It kind of stimulates your body and also helps you gain some energy, and then you can be doing a lot of other stuff. So that's the bone part.
By the way, what we want to do, maybe starting next year with this, is we're going to start doing a few series here and there. Like in my last live, I told the boys, because now they're on break, so in the next, maybe this coming month, I'm going to do a few mechanical series where I'm going to teach the youth and some veterans that want to learn different ways of coping, how to work on engines, tear the whole engine apart, rebuild it, and put it together all the way to starting it to make sure it runs, so somebody can actually learn. And then besides that, another series I want to do is we're going to have Papa do some cooking, okay? Because have different ways of cooking so people can learn how to cook. Like I know for sure when I was a veteran transitioning out, I was living by myself. I mean, had I only known different ways of cooking for myself to, different way of cooking different foods that I could eat to make me, get better, get some energy, mentally too. By the way, how you eat also matters, right? Oh, snap, that turkey is going in there, yeah? Oh, goodness, Papa. Hold on, I gotta show you this real quick, because you gotta watch this. Papa, where are you? Oh, snap, that's going in. I gotta adjust. The turkey is in. So, that's gonna get turned on soon here. And then, boom. So the turkey, the fish or whatnot, okay? But yeah, back to this. So I'm talking about, so we'll have Papa do a series of cooking differently. Papa will talk about this. So Papa is gonna cook, maybe it's a soup, he's gonna cook maybe like a simple dish or something, Oh, Fred says it's called a molokon. But Fred, when you're buying bones for boiling and stuff, don't focus on the molokon. Just buy bones. The purpose, the intentions is to get the bone marrow, something inside. And then Rose says...
No, molokon is not the bone we're talking about.
No, molokon is not the bones we're talking about. Forget a molokon. Just regular bones, just bones. Like I showed you. Maybe I showed you the wrong part of the bone. Maybe I show you another bone. Fred, see how this bone is? It's not a molokon. This is just bone. Your interest is to get the bone marrow. The bone marrow, that's what you need the most, okay?
Molokon is cow feet.
We're not talking about cow feet molokon. No, not that kind of bones, But again, that's why these are lessons. So, good questions. Oh, I see questions coming. So Ross is asking Papa, do the greens put in the turkey get ready?
Yes, they do. Everything gets ready. It's so hot in there. It's unbelievable.
Yes, everything gets ready. By the way, there are different ways of cooking turkey too.
Even if you put the potatoes in there, anything you put in there will be so ready. You can buy fillings, which is already packaged that you can buy to put into the turkey from the store, as well as a separate thing you can buy. I don't like it very much because it's almost like you packed in a bunch of bread or something in there. So some people like it. The traditional way is to put the fillings in there, turkey fillings. So it's very common here, but we don't use it here because we know we can do some other stuff that comes out really good.
But you also gotta be creative in the process, though. You know, you can put a little bit of touch of your own liking to what you're doing, right? So
that's what we say. It's all.
Yeah, like the way you just seen Papa marinated is not typical. That's not the typical American way of marinating it. That's Papa's touch. So good though. I challenge you to try that, okay? I would, you know, sometimes I do it differently, you know, when I'm cooking and stuff. But let's see some questions. I want a piece of turkey. Yeah. Estella, it's not ready yet. But yeah, as soon as it's ready, please join us. Okay? You know? But yeah, back to the topic. So we're gonna do a few series of those on how to cook things differently because, man, some people just cook. You know, you just boil and eat. You're not putting any passion to you. You gotta put some, man, be interesting in the process, right?
Well,
man,
I've been writing different recipes about. Well, for me, I cook weird, so my cooking was gonna be.
That's right.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Eat weird, be healthy. That was my intention. There are so many things that people don't want to eat, and yet they are very healthy. When you're cooking, in any cooking process, if you go online on TV, you see all these cooks. The eye and the taste.
Says I.
What you see and what you taste must match up. Some people will not eat something because it doesn't look appetizing. Just the looks will drive somebody away. But if you can cook something that is so presentable, even if somebody doesn't like it, even those who do not really believe they can eat it, you'll be surprised how many people will eat that stuff. And then if you travel a lot, like for me, because of traveling, I end up picking up things that Fidelis will run away from if I cook them. Because it's really weird. Yeah, you know. Like, you know, rabbit meat, frog legs and things like that. Those are things that are not very traditional in a way.
Sorry, let me cut you on that story real quick. So, Papa is right. So listen to this. Papa, you still have that rabbit laying around in the freezer somewhere.
There's one more.
So Papa bought this rabbit, God knows when. And I know he's trying to trick me. He's trying to find a way to corner me so he cooks it without me knowing. Then I don't know about that. I don't know about eating rabbit. He says it tastes like chicken, but I've been afraid to eat the rabbit, you know. So Papa is just holding on to it. I know for sure. My mind tells me one day he's just going to cook it somehow that I won't know. And I'll probably eat it, you know. But when he's telling you he cooks weird, okay.
Well, in most cultures, people eat things that you personally might not want to eat. If you go to Zambia, they eat the caterpillars. And they are really funny looking stuff, but people enjoy that stuff.
Goodness.
If you go to the DRC in the Congo, they have all different types of bugs that people eat. Like in East Africa, of course, in Uganda, they have Senene, they have the white ants or the termites. They have all those things that people eat. But the problem is that if you give that to other cultures that are not used to that, they won't eat it. So that's why I'm coming out with this idea, eat weird, be healthy. What can make you healthy? Sometimes it's the weird things that makes you healthy. The very thing that we enjoy most are the things that are destroying us. Then people don't understand that, and that's what I do. I usually cook things that is out of the ordinary, but it comes out fantastic. A lot of people have not even, sometimes they have not even known, say, what is this? What is this? By the time I tell them it's too late, they've eaten it, which is really a good idea. I mean, that happens all the time. You go to Singapore, for example, you will be surprised what you find there. You know, even in Indonesia, for example, they find a market for where they sell pythons, python meat. Man, it's just, you cut it up, it looks like fish.
By the way, you know? Papa, you've been looking for python meat.
In the Florida here, they have it too. You can get it. It's $19 a pound. It's expensive, so that's why I'm avoiding it.
Doesn't that mean something is wrong with Papa? Why is he looking for python meat?
Yeah, you see.
By the way, this is true, Papa. This has been like 3-4 years you're looking for python meat.
Yeah, I gave up because somebody beat me to it. There's a big market here now.
You see?
Yeah, maybe I want to do business.
People are seriously buying python meat to eat.
Very serious. call here. I have a number for you.
These are not my words. This is Papa, and he's not lying. He's serious about
No,
this.
there's a large influx of pythons that were brought into Florida in the 60s. People bought these Indonesian and Malaysian pythons. That's little pythons. They got so big in the house they threw them out. Now they've multiplied in Florida like crazy. They're all over the Everglades. So now the government has launched, the state has launched people to go kill them. And of course they kill them, the meat is yours, the skin you give to the government. But
So,
now,
Papa, it's like a hunting season.
it is throughout. There's no hunting
For the
season.
python?
Python is all year round.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. So you go get a license to go kill pythons.
Well,
But the problem is if you're a coward, you can't. This guy is run into water and grab it and all that stuff.
Papa, I'm not doing that.
That's the thing.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, so but the thing is, like, most people do not understand there is food around their house. If you travel around the world, you see people are so hungry and they have never really bothered to check what plants are edible, what plants can bring me some energy. We have so many trees that have very powerful value, superfood, like a moringa tree. You can eat the leaves, you can even chew the leaves, cook the flowers, and then the roots are so important, you can crush it. The seeds, you can actually make it into something, grind it and cook it. One tree with all kinds of benefits. So those are some of the stuff people, and you see people like where I grew up, there's a moringa tree all over behind the houses, and they're wondering what to do with it. And they think that, it is just to be sold. But you don't know that it's a superfood, can keep you very healthy. So there are leaves in the wild that people do not understand, that are actually edible, and people don't understand it. In some places, people have sweet potatoes growing wild all over, like if you travel to East Africa, Uganda.
By the way,
there are sweet potatoes
Papa,
almost everywhere. But nobody even eats them. But Liberians would want to go there and harvest all the sweet potatoes and bring it here.
sweet potato leaves, that
The
is.
sweet potato leaves are so powerful and so good, but there are some places where people don't eat it. And they will say, we have no food. Behind there is a lot of sweet potato leaves.
Papa, I never ate sweet potato leaf in Africa.
But where are
I've
you
eaten.
gonna-
This is the first time I ate the sweet. Papa, at this home, you made it. That's the first time I ever ate sweet potato leaves. So good, so yummy. But Papa, I wanted to make a quick comment on that note about eating. How you can heal from just eating good, right? Mm-hmm. So these are to my veteran friends and everybody else that is going through whatever, you're going through a healing process, whether it's PTSD you're dealing with or TBI or just regular physical injuries that you're trying to heal through. I know there's this notion or concept that it's only white medicine that pills.
Western medicine.
That Western medicine is the only medicine that can heal you. Not necessarily true. I have improved so much just by eating differently, just eating healthy. Plant-based food, vegetable food, ground-based food. I mean, trust me, just eating. So sometimes that helps. So learn how to eat healthy. Learn how to balance that, because people rely so much on pills. I feel a little bit pain, pills. I feel a little, you know what I mean? No. Rely on some healthy eating. Drink water, eat healthy. Green vegetables, ground food. It will make a big difference. The soups we're talking about, just cooking. It brings about different way of feeling. It gives you different energy. When you have energy, it gives you the capacity to be able to fight whatever that challenge is, the disease or whatever the situation may be. Because if you have no energy, you don't have the fight. How are you going to fight with no energy? So you gotta eat healthy. What else were you adding on, Papa?
No, me, I'm done.
This soup goes.
You have to be balancing between pharmaceutical and plant-based is always important, because sometimes the food you eat can help you alleviate the same problem that you're trying to treat using pharmaceutical. It's very difficult for people to comprehend, but that's really the truth. If you look at where are the pharmaceutical medicines coming from, they're coming from plants. They're coming from tropical rainforests in Africa, in South America, and some other places. And when we were growing up, chloroquine. There is a tree where even now especially my friends from Liberia, they bring the bark of the queen, the what do you call it, of that tree where they get the medicine for chloroquine from. You can actually put it in a vodka, or people put it in their drinks and all that stuff. I don't drink those things, but they mix it with other stuff. You can soak it in a bottle and let it slowly, and you can drink that, and it might actually take care of you. So there's so many trees that we have. You can buy these supplements. Even as I'm talking about moringa, for example, you can buy moringa supplements. You can buy moringa processed powder and all that stuff. So all these things can be balanced if you know what to do between pharmaceutical and plant-based stuff. So people can cure themselves from certain types of food. In other words, you can actually improve your stability in terms of like stress, mental anguish, and all that stuff, depression. Food can actually do wonders in that category. Because sometimes the pharmaceutical medication will probably retain you to be there on that medication, and you become basically addicted. And so your body starts feeling that, oh, I need it. But food won't do that to you. So the same thing that you might take as far as food is concerned, you're not gonna get addicted to any food. It doesn't happen because your body accepts it, and then the flow goes on. So that's.
But by the way, Papa, you're on the money with that. By the way, you have to pay attention to what you eat too. Like I get these wild migraine headaches, right? So like for the longest, I didn't have to pay attention to the triggers to the headache. So some of it comes from like food. Like for me, it was like caffeine, drinking coffee or soda, or managing your stress levels and things like that made it worse for me. So when I realized that, I cut off coffee, I cut off drinking soda, I cut off drinking that, taking on that stuff that otherwise triggers, completely cut it out. You know what I mean? Or some people, by the way, when you're going through a healing process, you have to eat less meat. You have to eat more ground-based food, more vegetables, and less meat if you want to heal. I don't know why everybody thinks meat is what's going to heal you faster. Yes, I understand it gives you protein, but you can still get protein from your kale, spinach, Now I don't want to say this, the insects you talk.
No,
I don't know about that stuff, Papa. But yeah. Just watch your intake, But I think what works for me is I'm learning so much from Papa. Because Papa watches what he eats. He's very, very careful with what he eats. Just being around him and then, us preparing some of this stuff together, it gives me lessons in the process, right? So you see how that is beneficial, So I've not always been like this, but, I'm learning, and the more I'm learning and the more I'm eating less meat, the more I'm eating, staying away from that red meat, the more I feel like, wow, I'm more active, I'm running around, when I coach, man, I'm hanging with my U17 boys, we run. So think about that energy. You gotta eat healthy, So, but people don't pay attention to how they eat sometimes, and that especially for those that need to heal. When you're in the healing process, you have to eat healthy so that it gives your brain the right nutrients to start healing your body too. Because healing does not necessarily come from medication. You can trigger your own healing for your own good. Okay, it works. Like for me, for the longest, that's what was working. Once I started getting the energy, I started thinking positively. And then just the mindset started giving me the energy for the better. Then it gives me room to focus on the good and not just dwelling on the stressful stuff, okay? So it works. Maybe you should try that.
The other thing is, for those of you who love meat, either beef, besides doing steak, and boiling the bones and all that stuff. If you're gonna do a stew, don't use oil. There's a trick. Most of these meats have fats in them already. So normally what I do is I put the meat in a pot. I wash the meat and put in the pot, and then I throw my tomatoes and my onions and the spices and the salt, and I cover it. The juice from the meat is gonna start the job. So you cover it for about 45 minutes, and then you start adding your little stuff. So you don't need to say, let me fry this thing, blah, 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 cook with the fry. Just don't keep oil out. All you need is now your spices, your onions, your tomatoes. Throw them in there. In fact, just throw everything in there and cover it with the salt in there and let it cook. When it starts cooking high, lower it to low, and then let it cook. After 45 minutes, if you're cooking like meat, beef, if you're cooking stew, after 45 minutes, then you start thinking of how much soup, how much of the sauce you want. Then you can add. But otherwise, the meat and the tomatoes are going to create that liquid, that sauce that you're trying to look for to eat your rice or whatever it is. And you can do that with the goat meat or lamb. Lamb is a very interesting one. In fact, with the lamb, you need just big chunks and put them in a pot. Add all the stuff. After halfway down the road, add some garbanzo beans in there, and let it cook.
What's garbanzo beans?
Beans.
Right? What kind?
This is a big one.
Aye.
Don't worry, they know.
Papa.
So those are
garbanzo beans.
There's so
okay.
many ways. That's why when I'm talking about you eat weird, be healthy. These are some of the avenues of not removing certain things that you want to enjoy. You can still eat your meat, but you have to eat it in such a way that it becomes a little bit healthier. And if you've eliminated the oil, for example, then you're basically dealing with the meat and your spices, right, and the tomatoes. And you're adding tomatoes, you're adding onions, you're in business. You're just going to find the same meat that you thought you need to fry it first and this and that is going to come out far better than the stew that was been fried with the...
Papa. Garbanzo beans is chickpeas.
Yeah, something like chickpeas. They're
Hi, Alice.
They're
Thank
very
you.
big. They're kind
big,
of big.
yeah?
Yeah. So there's so many avenues, and so when you eat meat, you have to just be creative with it. But of course, you don't want to eat meat every day. That's trouble right there.
Yeah.
There are cases of people with gout. If you eat meat, you're going to make your gout worse. In fact, goat meat is actually the worst for gout, people with gout problems. So with the fish, bake your fish, add the spices, put in the oven, bake it, come out. You can make your sauce if you want to. And just blending tomatoes and red bell pepper together and onions will give you a very nice sauce.
By the way, Papa,
then you can add it to your chicken.
Papa, you know how some people fight eating vegetables?
Yeah.
People don't want to eat vegetables, right? They always just run away. They rather eat meat, chicken, fish, or whatever. But the best way, like for me, the best way I enjoy eating vegetables is sometimes you cook it with meat together, or just put some bones in there, just to give it that taste. And then, what's your advice to people?
Look, with the meat or with the chicken and meat, you can add any kind of vegetables to them. Well, there's some that you don't want to add to them. Spinach is one you can add to beef. If you want to add some vegetables.
Even the skuma wiki.
Skuma wiki is not as good with the regular beef, but with the ground beef.
Papa, I thought you made sweet potatoes with meat before, no?
Yeah.
That was nice.
Not the sweet potato leaves.
Yeah, sweet potato leaves.
You can do sweet potato leaves with the beef. You can do sweet potato leaves with chicken. It tends to work much better with smoked meat or smoked fish or smoked turkey and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so when you're cooking smoked meat, be careful with the salt, because most of them are pre-smoked with the salt. So you need to make sure that you don't add any salt at all. Just boil it, wait and see, because first of all, the meat has salt. So you're gonna be deceived by the water, by the liquid, by the broth. If the broth is not tasting very salty, be careful to add more, because the meat still has salt. So those are some of the avenues of dealing with the smoked turkey neck, smoked pork, and all that stuff. But they're fantastic for cooking vegetables, for cooking collard greens. Like if you buy smoked meat, any smoked meat, turkey, chicken, whatever, if they're smoked, they're fantastic for cooking greens. You can add collard greens to that. You can add kale and all that stuff. Just add it to the meat, let it cook slowly. Now, the other thing you can do, if you had a rice cooker, most people don't know that you can use your rice cooker to cook soup. In your rice cooker, you get your chicken legs, you get your kale or collard greens or vegetables of your choice. get your tomatoes, get your onions, get your spices, put them all in there, all in the rice cooker, and then use brown rice instead of white rice. Use brown rice. Put the button on brown rice to cook longer so that you get the chicken is all cooked. You'll be so shocked when that thing is ready. Everything in there is cooked, including the chicken, and you will have the best soup ever. That's one trick that people don't understand.
You have to be diverse in your cooking. You can't just be one-sided in your cooking.
Yeah.
But Papa, so what advice?
If
Papa,
you have no time, rice cooker is your best way to make a soup, and then you can just get your either boiled potatoes or whatever is rice. And
Fred says he's gonna try that.
Yeah.
Alice, happy Thanksgiving to the family. Say hello to the boys for me. So Papa, question. Carlos Arake, what's up, man? I'm trying. Hey, so Carlos says you're not doing anything. Just hold the camera. Papa, Carlos. Hi, Carlos. So Papa, listen to this. I don't like beans.
Oh.
I struggle to eat beans. Papa will cook beans. I will stay at it for 2 weeks. Maybe I will try it. No, Papa, I don't. But what's your advice? Beans are good, right? Beans are supposed to be good.
It's a very good source of protein.
Protein, right?
Source of roughage and source of protein.
Thank you, Christine. Yeah.
Beans is good. It helps with a lot of your digestive issues of constipation and all that stuff.
You see.
When you eat beans, you are in business. But there are people who just don't like beans.
Papa,
there are
I'm
those who
failing
don't
to
like
eat
it
beans.
because they went to boarding schools and they ate too much beans.
Papa, that's
Or
wrong.
there are those who don't like it because they just don't like beans. They want meat. So that when you want to eat beans, there has to be some creativity with cooking beans. The way I cook my beans is that I use olive oil strictly. Most of the oil I use here is olive oil. So you boil the beans. Always buy dry beans. Don't buy canned beans. Don't ever buy canned beans. Canned beans, they have all kinds of stuff. They have they have chemicals for storing it and all that stuff, for keeping it stay longer in the can. Canned beans can stay for 10 years in the can. Now, are you going to think about that before you start eating something that has been sitting in there for 10 years? So those are some of the stuff about that. The preservation, they use certain types of chemicals to preserve the beans in there. So that's a little bit tricky. Plus the metal, they use the can and whatever it is. So
Yeah, that rust. In 10 years, that thing is going to rust one more day.
so, I like to boil my beans from scratch. Now, for those who don't like beans completely, this is the trick. Get your 2 cups of beans, right? And then get your meat, your beef with bones on it, all right? Just regular beans, even just the meat chopped up for stew. Let that start cooking together. The beans and the meat, put them in the pot together. Let them cook together until the end. And then after that, you got your onions, you got your tomatoes, you get your cilantro, and then you cut them all up, and then get your olive oil, put the onions in there, saute the onions, add the tomatoes and the cilantro, and then get your beans there. Then you let the thing cook, simmer slowly. The beans and the meat, they've integrated. Now you're not even going to think about eating beans because it is no longer in your head. You're feeling the taste of meat in there. You're feeling the beans is just making it even taste better. That's the trick. That's one trick. The other trick is just to cook your beans with lots of tomatoes, lots of cilantro, lots of onions, and green onions on top. Let it simmer when the beans is ready. So you will really have the aroma, the taste, everything will look so good, and you eat that beans with rice. You come back to it the next day. So those are some of the various tricks. Also, the type of beans matter. The type of beans, for those, some people don't like beans because red beans, black beans. By the way, black beans are the tastiest. You can actually boil black beans and just eat it. But most of these beans are very good. I like the Indian, the peas, the split peas and all that. So those are really easy to cook and easy to eat because all you need to do is add onions as it is boiling. By the time it is ready, your salt, you're in business. The other type of beans that people cook, the reason people hate beans in boarding schools because they just pour it in these big pots and boil it with the water and that's it, and then they bring it out with salt and you're eating it. with all the maggots that are there. The maggots are actually protein. So those are some of the stuff. So you can love beans. If you don't like dry beans, go buy fresh ones. In the right season, you can get fresh beans. Those are really tasty when you boil them. They taste a little bit off of the regular traditional beans that they're still fresh. And it will do wonders with your olive oil and other stuff. So you just cook it. You can actually do without oil as well with beans. If you put onions, a lot of onions you need to cook together, and then just add your salt and make it a soup. So that's it.
That's it.
Are we done?
No, Papa. So I'm just going to read a few questions. So, well, before we sum up, okay? I know people have been making comments. So let me just read through some comments just to make sure we're responding to people or whatnot. Maybe they have a question or two.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Papa. A lot has been going on and we haven't really checked them out yet. So Ivan Paul is watching. Hello, Paul. Martin Otieka. Martin, what's up? You know what it is. The fish goes. Okay. Hi, Nicole. You're on your way. African food waiting. Come on. David, happy Thanksgiving. Love. Inoka. Love. Say hello to family in Sri Lanka. Hello, Jen. You're watching. Brandon, what's up? Happy Thanksgiving, man. Big ups. Hello. Neji, how are you? Heidi, say hello to Tomazo. Love, Rose, Yoga. Maureen Kelly. Hey, Papa. Mrs. Friend. Right there.
Maureen.
Hey, Maureen, that's Mrs. Mwanga.
Okay.
Hey, Fred, what's up? Say hello to the boys. Teddy, hi. Andrea, love. Estella, Yoga. Christine. Oh, Christine says she's going to buy a ticket coming for your turkey. Christine, hurry up. Papa, that was a good. Oh, that was Junior's question. Ross says the question about if the thing will cook from inside. Then somebody says, try that rabbit. No. Alice is watching. Papa, not yet. I will try it maybe 10 years from now or something. I don't know. Papa will surprise me. I know for sure. In the back of my mind, I know something is coming. You know, like the best. Papa, you know how I like cooking with peanuts. Yeah. Papa, that's probably how you're going to catch me. You're going to dry it and cook it in peanut, and I'm going to think I'm eating dry fish or dry chicken. Christine says, thanks for the recipe, Papa. I didn't know. Oh, yeah. She didn't know you could mix beans and meat.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, trust me. We've been watching that for years. It happens. Papa cooks it. I love vegetables and beans. My favorite. Oh, goodness. Good Rose. For you. That's Rose. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Okay, listen up. We have to get back to it, Papa. Thank you. That was beautiful. Yeah. I appreciate you. Oh, listen. Thank you so much, okay? We gotta get together. We got visitors coming. We gotta cook. Araki, you said I'm not cooking. You know I cook, man. I'm about to get to it, man. See, I'm gonna go wash my hands. We're not barbecuing, man. What else? Greetings. Next Thursday, join us. We'll be live, okay? Topic unknown. But I'm gonna start doing this series. I think next Saturday I'm gonna be building an engine for the youth. You know, next Saturday is December, so people are home from school for Christmas break. So I don't like sitting around, so I don't like youth sitting around without learning something. Take advantage of this. Learn a thing or two during your break, so you never know when it will help you later. Okay? I taught myself how to fix cars. I'm trying to teach somebody, by the way, for free. So learn. You never know when you want to change a spark plug. You never know when you want to change a brake. You never know when you just want to make sure there's enough coolant in your car. You never know when it's not starting and it's just, how to diagnose all of that. We're going to start from there. But besides that, happy Thanksgiving. I love you all. Enjoy family and friends. Enjoy dinner. Okay? Many greetings around the world. We appreciate you. Pieces. Deuces.